I used to spend many nights in the streets because of my addiction of crack. My father used to go looking for me, place to place, to bring me back home. He had to put a chain in my ankle to a window so I don't leave the house. But still I could break through and go again to the streets. When I was young, I was a very happy girl. I had my father that did everything for me until the time that I was abused. When I was abused is when everything changed in my mind and the way I was, because I started hate myself and I did anything that was to fill me up. I had nightmares and I started hear voices after that. And I never shared that with no one until not long ago, because I think no one is going to believe that I have that voices coming to my mind. With the relationships, my first boyfriend, I was obsessed about him. And when that relationship finished and I went to other country to live, I find my ex-partner that I was also obsessed about him. The process of my life starts going because I want to try cigarettes, drinking, smoking weed, and from then escalate to other drugs. When I went to that other country to live is when I started trying ecstasy, LSD, cocaine. The things get worse in my life when me and my ex-partner, we started using crack. He was using crack for a long time. I didn't know about it. He introduced me to that, and this is when our life went downhill. After that, he went to other country to live, and then is when I went down to the streets. My father tried to help me in different ways because I steal things from my house, and I have a little girl that was living with me, and I use in my room with her there.
When I was about 5-6 years old, my mom used to do crack in the bedroom where we used to sleep. I used to see her doing it in the window of our bedroom. I was 5-6 years old. Unfortunately, I already knew what she was doing.
When I see that she was coming sick because of my smoke, is then when I decide to use in the streets and not use in the house anymore. I don't go for her birthday because I disappear for Christmas, I disappear from New Year, and she wait for me. But I knew inside of me that she had my parents that was taking care of her, so I justify about that, saying that she's safe. My worst moment was when my father used to look for me all over the city when he paid the dealers to take me back home because I owed them money.
One day I remember my grandfather said to me, he went to pick me up in school, and he said to me that he had a surprise for me at home. When I got home, it was my mom chained.
Because he didn't know what to do anymore, he used to tie my ankle in a chain to a window in my room so I don't leave the house. And my little girl that was around 5 years old that time, she saw me in that position.
And as I grew older, I realized how traumatic that situation actually was, because my mom was in a bedroom. She had to be chained to be inside the house because that's not where she wanted to be.
My addictions take more than 30 years that I was addicted to all the type of drugs. The worst moments is when I have 8 years of crack. In the end, I was tired of that life. I didn't know how to stop. When I stopped using crack is when I went to a rehab.
When I met Deborah, we got along very well. And after we had children, that's when the problem started. We resorted to drinking and smoking.
Then I carried on smoking cigarettes. I was very, very nervous. I was very stressful person.
This is where the relationship started to deteriorate.
I argue a lot with my husband. We have arguments most every day.
We were thinking about divorcing because we couldn't carry on living that way.
From then we have a bad experience when we have people come inside of our house and pointing a gun to my oldest daughter. So then we decide to come to live in England. I have cousins that live here already, that they are part of the church. I spoke with my parents before I come here that I just go to the church because I'm gonna be in their house until, just to make them happy.
When Deborah came to UK, she actually joined the UCKG church, and this is where all the transformation happened.
I went to the church with my cousins. When I see that church was different, it was something that make me feel peace. So when I heard that my kids could be free of addiction, is what makes me stay in the church. But from 3 years, I was just coming to the meetings and wanted and go back outside and carry on. I stopped smoking for some 6 months, more or less, and then I went back to smoke. That made me feel just pity of myself, feel sorry of myself. I carried on going to the church because I knew that was the way, but I didn't commit it for 3 years. So it came to a point that I want to change. I know was enough for me. I have to make a decision. I decide to change my life. I decide to give my life to God. Is when came the campaign that I went through. That campaign, I decided to put my all in, make the difference, concentrate in my spiritual life than my flesh life. God asked me clearly in my ears when I was in front of the altar that He wants my salary, and I hear no one told me to do that. I decided to do that because God is what God asked for me. But the other things also I had to commit is to change the way I behave and stop pointing fingers to my family, thinking that they have to change. I have to change first. I have to make the change on me. So I want to see the change in other people. When I went to the altar and I give my all to God and I told Him that without Him, I couldn't carry on. I will go back to my old life if He don't come and fill me with His Spirit. When I came down of that altar, it was a certainty that God will change my life. After I received the Holy Spirit, all the emptiness, all the doubts that I had was gone, and I knew that God was with me. I have the certainty of my salvation. That is the main thing. Today, I'm not longer addicted to any kind of addiction. Everything I left it, and I don't need nothing to fill me up because the Holy Spirit is everything that I need. From then, all my family starts seeing the difference in me because I stopped pointing fingers to them and understand with my change is when they will change, and the change starts inside of us.
She's a much calmer person. She's more understanding. She's more comprehensive. You can see the difference that the Holy Spirit has done to her.
She got her self-confidence back. She got the inner peace back. This is something I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think there was hope for us. The confidence she has, the wisdom she has, this could only come from a higher power.
I started changing. I stopped being the stressful person that I was. I never changed like to be an angel, but I start changing, and the Holy Spirit show you the way. The Holy Spirit tell you what is wrong, what is right. Before you do something, He will tell you that if it's right or wrong to do it.
It's beautiful to see the change in my mom and to see that she can provide that change for my siblings in a young age and even for herself.
This is when I started to join the UCKG church because of the influence of what I've seen, the changes that my wife has made. And I can only see our family just getting stronger. This is what's actually bringing us back together again. So yes, it is a blessing, and I'm very grateful for having her in my life and my family.
I want to give to the world what Jesus gave to me, because saving souls is the main thing. When you start seeing people as a soul, you start to have more peace in yourself and understand a lot of things that the world can't give it to you. I will not exchange the Holy Spirit with anything in this world. From a lost case to a blessed family. I never thought I can have a family, and because of the Holy Spirit and the presence of God in my life, now I can say I have a family that is happy and is complete.